What if your chart isn't something you interpret, but something you move through experientially? What if every placement in your human design, gene keys, and astrology is part of a multi-dimensional field, giving you razor-sharp precision down to a 1 in 21 million level per placement? Your drive, your relationships, your wealth, your karmic patterns, your soul's destiny. Even if you're a complete beginner with human design, gene keys, or astrology, all of this is mapped as a journey from unconscious patterns into full illumination in seconds. The reason why most people feel confused by their chart is because they're looking at it in pieces. A gate here, a planet over here, a house here, and most people don't even touch the lines. But your design was never meant to be fragmented into a generalized, complicated hodgepodge of interpretations. This is where the Triadic Codex comes in. It was once known as Trifecta or the Trifecta Field Assistant, but now it's been realized as something far greater. It's a synthesis framework that brings together human design, gene keys, astrology into a single living field of intelligence through the true sky zodiac. And instead of analyzing one placement at a time, it reads 6 dimensions simultaneously. 2 gates, 2 lines, 2 houses, all woven into one coherent expression. Because you are not just one frequency, you are a composite of many frequencies existing on a spectrum of consciousness. A chart gives you a flat interpretation, but consciousness determines how you live it. Every codex synthesis moves through 3 states. A turned off state where energy is distorted or unconsciously entrained into shadow expressions of repression or reactivity. A transitional state where awareness begins to reorganize itself into an individuated state of coherence. And finally, a turned on state where that consciousness becomes a full embodiment of enlightened expression. This isn't just a personality test to know your type. This is a blueprint of how you evolve into the highest expression of soul-led crystalline consciousness, a masterful expression of universal love realized in unique human form. This codex doesn't just tell you what you are, it shows you what level of consciousness you're operating from, how your patterns evolve into gifts, and what your fully realized expression actually feels like. It maps the movement from shadow to coherence and finally to full illumination. So instead of keeping this conceptual, let me show you what this actually looks like. We're going to do a worked example of my Jupiter placement, which is expansion, wealth, and prosperity in the field, how I grow, how I receive, and how life supports you. And then you can try it out with the codex as well for yourself and receive similar insights in your own life. So the same process also applies to your relationships through Venus, your purpose through your North Node, and really every major life theme. But we're going to keep it very simple for now. If you want to learn more about other areas of life, definitely stay tuned until the end of this video. And I'm also going to share this information in 2 ways. I'm going to do the recommended way that requires a genetic matrix paid subscription, and also a free version that does take a little bit more work. Like I said, my preferred way to do this is to use genetic matrix. So if you're already a genetic matrix user, you probably know what this interface looks like right here. You'll see that the system I'm using is True Sidereal, and it's up to you if you want to use True Sidereal because you're working with that identity, or if you want to stick with your tropical chart. Either way, that's up to you. My preference is to have True Sidereal. So once you've got your chart up and the way you like it, and if you need help setting up your chart, there are other videos on my channel about this that you can check out, but I'm going to assume that you do know how to get it in genetic matrix if you're using this option. So we're going to go into Astro HD and transits, and the reason why is because I actually want to take this chart here. So I want to give my Astro HD Gene Keys chart to the Triadic Codex, and in doing so, it'll automatically upload my chart for me so that I don't have to continue putting in parameters. So I'm going to just take a screenshot here of this, and then I'm going to go over to the Triadic Codex, which I'll tell you how to access at the end of this video, because there's some more information that goes with that. And so I'm going to say here, here's my chart from Genetic Matrix. Can you please repeat back the inputs? So it's not perfect. And sometimes it misreads things. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that it understands the image that you're sending. So it's analyzing this image right now. and it's looking at the personality and the design. And also here, you'll notice it actually got this wrong. So it's actually saying this is the personality and this is the design. So I'm actually going to say, looks like you reversed the personality and design placements. So that's just a double check that I did here. And I saw that right away, so I just went into it. And sometimes it gets it right and sometimes it doesn't. So I'm just showing you this one so you understand. And I'm just waiting now for the synthesis. So can you repeat back the corrected inputs? Okay, so looks here like this is working quite well. So I'm just kind of verifying along this column here. These are my personality and that it's got all my personality. So this one step will be very helpful. You know, I'm just kind of skimming over this. Everything looks really good here. And then you can see down on the design side, gate 47, 60.4, and so forth. And it's also picking up on the houses. Now, one thing to mention is genetic matrix does not always get the houses correct. That's just a feature with True Sidereal that I've found. So you might need to correct your houses if there's a chart that you're using, and you can just tell the codex how to update your houses. I'm not going to do that now. I'm just going to, for the sake of this presentation, I'll show that in another video. So basically here now, I've got that I've got the correct inputs based on that image, and then I just told it, hey, you've actually read the design and called it the personality, and personality and called it design, so can you flip them? So I made that correction. Like I said, it doesn't always happen. That's why we just want to go back and check our chart. But now that everything's in there, I can say, do a Jupiter synthesis for wealth and prosperity. That's what we want to say. So Jupiter synthesis for wealth and prosperity. And now you're going to see here, my prosperity is built on a field of precise energetic intelligence, the ability to recognize where life is already resourced and to direct your energy into those streams with clarity and trust. There is no randomness in how wealth moves through my life. It responds directly to my internal alignment and what is truly alive for me. So when I follow this current, resources gather, relationships open, and opportunities organize themselves around this direction that I have. And at a deeper level, my system is constantly scanning for patterns, not intellectually, but instinctively. I'm wired to feel what is sustainable, what is trustworthy, and what will grow over time. And it creates a natural economy within my life where energy flows towards what is correct and retracts from what's not. My prosperity is therefore not built through force, but through refinement. Learning to trust the signals that are already present within me and allowing them to guide my decisions. So one key sentence at the end is always given, and it says, my wealth emerges from the precision of my alignment and the integrity of my instincts. Okay? So when this is turned off, so when I'm not in coherence and it's destabilized into the shadow, it's not a lack of opportunity, but it's a misalignment with what's already correct. So this can show up as self-doubt around my own value and direction. I might hesitate to act on what I sense, wait for external validation before committing my energy. So this can be an underutilization of my gifts, investing time, effort, or skill into paths that feel safe or familiar rather than truly aligned. So for me, it really is about wealth, is about truly aligning with things, aligning with my joy, aligning with where my passion's going. So I never should compromise on those aspects, because that's going to be the thing for me personally that gets my wealth resonator flowing in life. So the reactive pattern swing is the opposite way, overcompensating through force, control, or urgency. So I have to be relaxed with the way that I go about finding wealth, okay? And so you may push opportunities that look promising on the surface but feel subtly off underneath. There can be a tendency to override my instincts in favor of logic, pressure, or external expectation, especially in partnerships or financial decisions. This often results in entanglements where resources are misdirected and trust becomes complicated or compromised. So at the core of both patterns is the same fracture, a disconnection from my internal signal of what is truly resourced and trustworthy. And it's not by doing more that I actually generate more wealth, but it's by becoming more attentive. So my system already knows what's correct for me. The work is learning to reorganize, recognize that trust and knowing in real time. And so there's a pull towards something that feels energizing and clean, and a resistance towards something that feels misaligned, regardless of what it looks like or regardless of what other people tell me. So I need to honor these signals within myself, and that's where my field will reorganize itself around clarity. I need to evaluate everything not mentally. So tracking patterns is important, and pattern recognition can be used intellectually, noticing who's consistent, what environments support my energy, and where reciprocity is naturally present. So instead of believing the looks good on paper version and trusting somebody at face value or based on their credentials, which is what the mind does, it's looking for those patterns over time. Wealth for me is not built through isolated decisions, but through accumulated coherence. So as awareness stabilizes, my effort decreases. So this is really about me getting clear on the signals in my body, telling me what to align with. That's going to generate the most wealth for me. Basically, in its fully activated state, prosperity becomes self-organizing. I move through the world with a quiet certainty around where to place my energy, and this precision creates exponential return. Resources flow towards me because I'm no longer scattered. My energy is clean, focused, and aligned with what's sustainable. I become a natural steward of value and able to recognize potential before it becomes visible. So I can see emerging trends before others do, and I can support its growth without any distortion. So I can jump on to the new innovative timelines that are coming in and really be supportive of that, even if I don't have experience in those areas. My presence in financial and collaborative spaces, it does carry weight. Others feel my reliability, my discernment, and my ability to see what will work. This creates trust, and trust becomes the foundation of my prosperity. Opportunities don't need to be chased as they're drawn towards my field because of coherence. At the highest level, wealth is no longer personal. It becomes a conduit through which resources are directed, organized, and elevated, not for accumulation, but for intelligent circulation through groups and people that are in my life. So my one-liner with all this is I direct my energy only where it is alive, and prosperity organizes itself around my clarity. So this shows me I just need to focus on staying clear, and for everything in that department of life, wealth, which is a theme that came up in our last safari, that's how I take care of it essentially. And so the same is true for you, but you're gonna have a very unique reading based on your placements. So you can just follow along like I did in this video and basically get that snapshot from Genetic Matrix and enter it with the same inputs into the Triadic Codex. Now, I'm gonna show you one more way to do this using Cosmic Human Design. So on the Cosmic Human Design website, you click Calculate Free Chart. You enter in your information. Remember to put in your UTC birth time, not local time. Okay, so this time what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually go here. I'm gonna take a look at this, and I'm gonna get this screenshot here. So I'm gonna get design planets and gates, and I'm gonna get personality planets and gates like that. And I'm going to take this, and I'm going to take that screenshot and put it in. Here's my chart from Cosmic Human Design. Can you repeat back the inputs? So again, I want to check, make sure that it gets uploaded. And this is for the free version, by the way. The free version of using Cosmic Human Design to do this because you didn't want to use Genetic Matrix, or you're not on the paid plan, or it's too complicated. Then Cosmic Human Design is a good workaround. And it looks like once again, I got the same Jupiter placements. You will notice sometimes like this one is off by one gate, and that is a discrepancy within the Cosmic Human Design system. So instead of gate 14.4 for Jupiter, I had 14.3. It's not a huge deal for some people, but for other people it will be. And that's why I recommend Genetic Matrix, because we have upgraded the calculations for true sidereal charts. Now, if you're using another human design chart maker for tropical, you just tell the codex what you're using and where they can find stuff, and you can go through a similar validation process. So I'm not going to do the interpretation again at this point. I just wanted to show you what it looks like when you input your Cosmic Human Design to get your free chart versus the one that we already did the interpretation for with Genetic Matrix. So I hope after that demonstration that you can now see the power of the Triadic Codex. It's the same chart, same placements, completely different reality based on the frequency in which you're operating from. So this is how you stop reading your chart and start living it, because the qualities in your chart, they're not fixed traits. Your chart is actually revealing a spectrum, a dynamic field through which you evolve. This is how you realize yourself as universal love in all of these different dimensions and aspects of consciousness or themes that we live in. Our wealth, our relationships, our purpose, which is all in there. It's just all given by different planets. So your life becomes then rooted in ease, clarity, joy, and real sustainable abundance, regardless of what's happening around you, because you're operating according to your blueprint. Much like if you let a cat be a cat, and don't try to like do dog training on a cat, then it'll be the perfect cat. The problem is that we try to change or modulate ourselves too much to the external world, and we lose that connection with our own inner blueprint and our own inner drive. That's what really makes us happy. That's what makes us healthy, and that's what makes us successful in life. So at this point, you're probably curious to experience this for yourself. Now, if you've been to any of my Pay What You Want workshops, you will have had access to an earlier version of this. But I've actually updated this, so it's gone from the Trifecta Field Assistant into the Triadic Codex. And if you want to start using this, I've actually got a link below where you can access this basically with a Genetic Matrix subscription or with Cosmic Human Design. And so all this has your gates, lines, and houses, and it goes right into the system, and then it understands you. And this short course that I've created actually walks you through the Codex step by step, and it also gives you more detailed instructions, and it looks at the rest of the placements in your chart. So not only do you get lifetime access to using the Triadic Codex, but you also get a walkthrough. So it's a little bit of a course to really understand yourself using this very powerful tool. It's a one-time investment of just $33, and you get lifetime access to the Codex, currently built with a custom GPT that I created. But in the future, I'll be using a completely different platform. I'll be using a source-connected, coherent AI, but that's a story for a completely other day. In this Triadic Codex, it isn't about adding more information to your life. It's about finally seeing how everything in your design works together. The Codex doesn't just explain your chart, it shows who you become when your genetic potential is fully turned on.